The dismissive and cynical may scoff at the cultural phenomenon surrounding Haley Welch, known to the internet as Hawk Tuah. Yet, to ridicule her rise is to fundamentally misunderstand its significance. Her now famous Hawk Tuah exclamation, accompanied by its raw, unpretentious humor, is not merely an internet meme. It is a reaffirmation of a deeply human, deeply historical pattern, the ability of seemingly trivial acts to catalyze and embody cultural zeniths. Consider, if you will, the sound itself, a guttural, instinctual hawking noise, the onomatopoeia of something both physical and visceral. It is no great stretch to imagine such sounds echoing through the marketplaces and theatres of ancient Athens or among the Roman plebeians at the Circus Maximus. For all our veneration of these golden ages of culture, it is folly to think they were devoid of the coarse and the comic. In fact, the bawdy, the ribald, and the absurd were not only present but were critical to their vibrancy. Aristophanes, for example, trafficked in humour far more vulgar than a playful spit. His comedies were filled with exaggerated bodily functions and sexual innuendo, and yet they remain pillars of Western literary tradition. The Hawk Tuah moment, then, is not an aberration in cultural history but a continuation of this grand tradition. It reminds us that civilization's heights are not reached by lofty ideals alone, but by their interplay with the base and the accessible. Humour, after all, is among the oldest and most enduring forms of human connection. It transcends language, class, and geography. Welch's utterance, delivered in an unfiltered southern drawl, struck a chord because it was unpretentious, unmanufactured, and universally understandable. A sudden and cathartic moment in an era often burdened by its self-seriousness. What does it say about our culture, then, that this single improvised phrase became a global phenomenon? Cynics would argue it reflects our triviality, our obsession with the lowest common denominator. But such an analysis misses the larger, more profound truth that our culture has democratized to an unprecedented degree. The tools of communication and dissemination are no longer reserved for the elite, the anointed, or the gatekeepers. Anyone, anywhere, with nothing more than a voice and a moment of spontaneity can enter the cultural canon. And let us not overlook what Welch has done since her ascent. Far from being content to fade into obscurity, she has harnessed her sudden fame into tangible ventures, a podcast, public appearances, and a burgeoning brand. In doing so, she demonstrates the entrepreneurial spirit that has always underpinned cultural renaissances. The great figures of history, whether artists, philosophers, or jesters, did not simply create. They navigated the economic and social systems of their time to ensure their work endured. To those who lament the supposed decline of culture, I would pose a challenge. Is it truly a decline, or is it a transformation? In Welch's rise, I see not the erosion of standards, but their evolution. She embodies a new kind of cultural participant, one who eschews traditional pathways in favor of immediacy, relatability, and adaptability. This is not an ending, it is a beginning. Indeed, the very absurdity of the Hawk Tuah moment underscores its vitality. Absurdity has always been a companion to genius. Socrates himself, in Plato's dialogues, often relied on irony and humor to dismantle pretension. Could we not see Welch's moment of unfiltered candor as a Socratic gesture, cutting through the artifice and pretension of our digital age with a single primal utterance? It is tempting to romanticize the past and view our present with scorn. But let us remember that the golden ages of history were not defined by purity or perfection. They were defined by their complexity, their contradictions, and their capacity to embrace the sublime and the ridiculous in equal measure. The laughter of the marketplace, the hawking of wares, the cries of jesters. These were not distractions from the greatness of Greece or Rome. They were its lifeblood, and so it is today. Hawk Tuah is not a sign of cultural decay. It is a reminder of our shared humanity. In her rise, we see the timeless power of humor to connect us, the audacity of the individual to seize a fleeting moment, and the remarkable systems we have built to amplify those moments. Far from lamenting her success, we should celebrate it as a testament to the enduring vibrancy of our culture. It may not be solemn, but it is most certainly golden.